All right, GM, everyone, testing the hands for you. Let's do a little couple tests here. We got let's test it out. Ooh, solo cam, nice. We've got the live cam, nice as well. Little, QR code, nice. Pop it on, off. Perfect. If I want to add Jake, boom. He's not here right now, he's in the shower. Boom, just testing the hands-free controls. Boys, today, what I want to talk to you about is just a little Vfat guide. And if you have any questions at any time, again, just throw them in the chat here in the live stream. I know back home it's probably getting pretty late, so not sure how many US guys will be on here, but if you're here, lock in. We do have water today. Little waters. They're not big, they're like little waters, little Thai waters. And so I want to do a quick little Vfat guide, just kind of go through the basics. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and drop them throughout the video, and I'll be able to help. I'm going to let a couple people pop on in here, hopefully. Make things a little more exciting, make sure the stream is working. Let me tab over to Vfat, make sure audio is working correctly. And so, audio looks good. Let's make sure Vfat's looking good. 1 second. Vfat is working, GG. All right, boys. Locked in. This will be nice and freaking easy. GM, everyone, it's almost actually noon out here. Woke up, took a shower, had a pretty good day, and we'll be hitting the gym here soon. Gonna go ahead and break down some Vfat and how to get started with liquidity pools. So again, any questions, drop them down in the chat down below, and we'll get back to you as soon as I see that shit. So, boys, when you want to get started, liquidity pools, the first step is always deciding what assets you already enjoy. Hopefully you have a good idea. You can just shop when you don't have an idea, but you really want to have an idea going in of what it is that you really want, what it is that you like, and that's going to give you a nice guide of where to go. So depending on the blockchain those assets are on, that'll show you where you're going to be shopping, okay? So Vfat is a very good tool to use for anything that is an EVM chain. That means anything that's operating as Ethereum, any layer 2s on Ethereum, certain layer 1s like Monad are EVM compatible, so Monad pools are going to be on here as well. And really, to get a good look, you can come to pools or farms, go to filters, and you'll be able to see all the supported chains. For farms, all the supported chains are right here. For pools, all the supported chains will be right here as well. And so really, the point of Vfat is to be an all-in-one hub for all those EVM protocols, things that are Ethereum compatible, essentially. So what it does is it saves you time from having to pick between every blockchain and going to every protocol individually. I do not have the time nor patience to go to each one of these freaking dexes here, each one of these protocols, and also check each blockchain for the assets that I'm wanting. So what Vfat does is it's gonna be able to scrub through all of those for you, and you can really fast track what it is that you are looking for. So if you know the assets you want are going to be on an EVM chain, Vfat is one of the best tools that you can use. It's a tool. So you're still opening positions on PancakeSwap, on Uniswap, on Aerodrome in the background. Vfat is just a nice front end that keeps everything in one clean place for you, okay? So Vfat, again, is just a tool for you to use. Now, if you wanted to do Solana, Orca is a great hub for that. If you were on Sui, you can use something like Turbo, Cetus. Cetus has a lot higher TVL, so you're gonna have more options over there. Turbos is more like just a Sui USDC, to be honest with you. But Vfat, again, is going to be that EVM hub for you. So now it depends on what asset you're looking for. If anyone has anything in chat they want to drop asset-wise, go ahead and drop that down there. I am more than happy to help take a look. Let me check real quick. The live looks like it is going perfect. Okay. Sweet. So if you have any assets you want me to check, drop them in chat. I'll look for those as well. But essentially, you should have a good idea of what assets you want when you come in here. So for example, let's just say good old faithful ETH USDC. Like I know I want ETH. I want to pair it with the stablecoin, and I might just keep it as USD. That way I keep it a little open-ended and I can shop for multiple stablecoins there. And so what I'm looking for is I want to find healthy TVLs. You don't need to be scared of the stuff in the hundreds of thousands. You don't need to be scared when you're looking for something like Ethereum, but a good rule of thumb is to stick to the over 100K market cap, and that's just going to keep you safe from getting in some riskier stuff when you're started out. Now, oftentimes, that 100K TVL barrier is to keep you out of trash tokens. When you're looking for something like Ethereum, something like Bitcoin, you might find lower TVL pools. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily a bad pool. If you find like a $50,000 one, it's just when you're getting started, there's no need to be journeying down the TVL list. That's low. But so what I'm looking for is all these are going to be running virtually the same. Different blockchains, different protocols. Uniswap on Ethereum mainnet obviously should have the highest TVL, just like it does. But what I'm looking for is I want to find basically the best ratio of TVL to 7-day fees. You can also sort by APR. That's going to give you a nice juicy look. But I'm going to go ahead and filter out. Let's filter out TVL, anything under 50K. Okay? And then we're going to start to get a good look at what's going on up inside here. And so you can start poking around. Different blockchains you may enjoy. There may be a certain blockchain you want to stick to. There may be a certain stablecoin you want to stick to, a certain asset you want to stick to. And then you get to start shopping around. So let's just, for example, look at this guy right here. This one looks interesting. I would not expect this APR to stay like this, would not expect that to be very accurate, but for the time being, this could be a good one to look at. So first things first, when you're exploring, I always recommend you start small. Throw $100 in some of these pools, take action, get started, take some chances, get curious, start some pools, and start small. Open a couple different ones. So for example, if you want an ETH USDT, ETH USDC, open like 3 or 4 of them. Different blockchains, maybe the same range, maybe different ranges, and see how they're actually working. See which one's actually going to perform best for you over the long term. But first things first, asset selection, ETH USDT or ETH USDC. Maybe that's what I'm looking at the current moment. The second step will always be to come to the chart, because the chart is what matters most. The proper range is what matters most. And right now I'm on the weekly chart, and for example, I might be looking for a nice wide weekly range. And I might just look for the bottom over here, this bottom tick, this nice support zone we have over here at about 1600. I'm probably just going to put it at 1600 to keep things super freaking easy for us. So I'm going to go ahead and bump that up, 1600, nice and easy. And now I'm going to look for a top. So for me, macro, I'm bullish. I cannot be bullish enough over the medium term, the next 3 to 6 months, we could say, if not maybe a little longer than that. I still think it'll take a couple weeks, maybe 2 to 3 weeks for anything exciting to actually happen in the market, but I am looking for a nice wide range. So you could be looking for something like to the all-time high. You could be looking for really where that cluster zone is up here at the top at like 45, 4600. If you're inside our 10K fast track, you do have other tools as well, like these liquidity zones, nice little magnets where I can see that maybe I really want to put that around the 4,400, or maybe up top around that 4,650, maybe even a little lower. Let's just do 4,600. Let's keep it nice and easy. Start cranking this bad boy up. This might take longer than I thought. Let's go ahead and do a little, there we go. And so this gives us a very, very nice wide range. And now, so there's some things to keep in mind when you want to open this pool, right? First things first, what blockchain are we on? We would be on Arbitrum. So I cannot open this pool unless I actually have ETH, which is the native asset, but on Arbitrum network. So if you have ETH over on Ethereum, you cannot open this pool. ETH on base chain, you cannot open this pool. So your first step is you're going to have to bridge to Arbitrum. This may be basic for some, this may be a new concept for others watching as well. Thirsty boys. So how do you bridge from one asset on a blockchain to Arbitrum, ETH on Arbitrum? Well, if you're using Rabby, like I recommend everyone using DeFi, it's pretty simple. You can click bridge, and so I can take assets from, let's see, I have $8 of ETH on base chain right now, let's say. And let's say I want to take $4 of it, and I want to send it to, choose blockchain first, we need to go to Arbitrum, okay? And then the native asset on Arbitrum is ETH, and that's the one I want to receive, because you want to make sure you have gas so you can actually make transactions once the Ethereum lands, but also it's just, I'm converting ETH just for ETH over here. It's super, super simple. We can just go ahead and bridge that, keep things simple. And this is going to be very, very quick. And Rabby Wallet will let you do this between any EVM chain that it is supported. I see a D-Bridge comment. That is my favorite bridge. I was getting there next. And they've had fat airdrops. Yes, sir. So getting here next. Now, depending on the blockchain you're bridging from or want to go to, you may need to use another service. D-Bridge, like he just commented, is my personal favorite at the moment. Portal Bridge being a nice backup because last I checked, D-Bridge doesn't support SUI. So if you're looking for a SUI route, you might want to be going with Portal Bridge. That's my preferred for that. But D-Bridge is super awesome. Bridges have gotten better over time. It used to be a lot more complicated to do these things. You used to have to do in-kind assets, which means, like, for example, if I wanted to bridge from Solana to Ethereum, I would get like a bridged version of Solana, wormhole wrap Solana on Ethereum. Now it's really easy because you can do something just like this. Say I wanted to come from Solana. Say I have some USDC on Solana and I wanted to send that over to base chain and have it be Coinbase wrap Bitcoin. You can do literally anything like that and it's going to create that route for you. You connect Phantom Wallet, you approve the transaction, make sure you paste in your correct, oh, that's crazy actually. Make sure you paste in your correct Bitcoin on base address, your base chain address, and you can then bridge that over to any asset on any blockchain. And that's going to work out very, very easily for you. Again, in this situation, we were just moving from base chain ETH to ETH on Arbitrum. So we're looking for Arbitrum, and we're going to select ETH. And that's how you would do that. You would then just bridge this way. Oftentimes D-Bridge is faster and it's cheaper than Rabby Wallet, but Rabby Wallet, if you're doing it inside, is a nice first step for beginners because it's just all integrated. It's very, very easy right there and it's gonna be a streamlined experience. But as you get more advanced, tools like D-Bridge are going to be very nice for you. Very good tools to use. So then, once you have done this, you'll see inside the Rabby Wallet now, we should our little $4 of ETH we bridged over. It's nothing crazy. This is just an example, right? How to get started, okay? $4 of ETH. Now that we have that, we actually have the native ETH on Arbitrum. We need to open the pool we're looking for. Is the $654 sustainable? Or 654 APR? I don't think so, but we're gonna go ahead and just open it up for funsies. And let's go ahead and just use about $4 of it. This is important to learn, guys, as well. Let me go ahead and get to $4 real quick. You never want to slide 100% in because you're using the native asset. That is your gas token. If you full port 100% into the pool, everything looks nice for a while. But then whenever you want to harvest, whenever you want to claim, if you want to withdraw or anything like that, you won't have any gas. You won't be able to make a transaction. Anyways, so never do 100%, always do a little less, even 99%, but I'm looking for just about an even $4 here. And so again, we set our range first. I went to the Ethereum chart and I did it off the weekly candles. The larger the time horizon you can go, the better. It's gonna be stronger support levels, stronger resistance levels, so you're setting a better range and a more long-term range. And if you can get a crazy APR off a long-term range, that's even better. I filmed a video last night. It's scheduled like probably till March at this point. I have a bunch of videos backed up. But I filmed a video talking about how liquidity pools are essentially giant swing trades. If you can get a great entry and swing trade it up to a great weekly high, like let's say the 4,600, you've played it perfectly. In the pools, will supercharge your swing trade the longer it takes. The longer it takes to complete, the more money you make each and every day. Because those rewards, you're able to reinvest those rewards and compound them back into spot assets, compound them back into more pools, open new pools, reinvest into the original pool, depending on the pricing, if it's a good value zone. And so the longer it takes, the exponentially more money you make, because if you're printing 10% a month, if this is true, which I wouldn't expect this to hang around at this APR for long, but if this is true, this is fucking insane, right? I wouldn't expect it to stay like this, and that's why you shouldn't chase APRs. A normal rate for ETH USDT would not be this high, but it is something that if you can take advantage of while it's printing, it's a nice little speed boost along the path to getting the rewards that you want to make. Anyway, so we've set a proper range, and so you have some options here. Automate rebalancing, automate rewards, automate exits. Personally, I don't play with any of these. I like the manual experience. I like full control. It's like my Corvette back home, which is still in the shop to my knowledge, which is absolutely retarded. But I like the manual experience. I have a manual card. Is automatic easier? Sure, but manual is I just like the control. I know everything that's happening. I know when I'm claiming. I know when I'm compounding. I know when I'm moving assets. I know when I'm closing positions. I don't want to have to go back to DBank and then track old transactions. I want to just know everything that's happening all the time. I like the manual control. It doesn't mean that you might not want to automate, talk like Jake. It doesn't mean you don't want to automate rebalancing or rewards, okay? But the problem is I don't want to give up control, and I'm setting nice, strong ranges. So here's what could happen. If you automate rebalancing, and I have a very strong range at the bottom of like 1,600, here's what would happen. The price would go to like 1,550, okay? And you could set a buffer, but most of you guys, here's what would happen to you and why it would fuck you up. Price would go below my range of 1,600 to like 1,550. And then what Vfat's gonna do is create me a brand new range that's 105% wide down there at that current price, which is nothing. I do not want that to happen. What I want to happen is that I would just be out of range for like a week or two or a couple days, whatever that may be. I don't want it to make a decision like that. If anything, I'm just going to snuggle down. The rebalanced range Vfat will give you automatically will not be one that you like. So I would recommend to stay away from automatic rebalancing, especially automate rewards. I used to do, in my experience, it waits till about $50 generated and then it will claim it for you, or you can auto compound as well. For me, again, I like the manual experience. I like to go in and claim it exactly for whatever it's worth and log that for exactly whatever I claimed. Automate exit, I haven't messed with. I don't really buy insurance on these. I've never lost money through a problem. I've only lost money through bad asset picks. Slippage. This is essentially how much money you're giving away for free. How loose the transaction could be. Back to the manual car example, I talked about this. Slippage is the clutch, literally the slippage between the gears. So sometimes it'll be hard for a transaction to actually go through because the market's chopping, it's volatile, liquidity is not deep enough for certain things. So you always want to try with the lowest possible first, 0.1. If that doesn't work, you can pump it to 0.5, you can then pump it to 1 if you need to, but sometimes you'll have problems entering pools. I'll often try each one 2 to 3 times. So this should work with the 0.1, but it's also $4, so we'll see. But here as well, you'll notice that here's why Vfat is a great tool to use. I'm actually going to cancel this once it starts. This is a good look right here, but I just want to show you the full breakdown real quick. What Vfat's actually doing, we're taking that Ethereum on Arbitrum, and what it's doing is it's doing all the hard work for us. It already knows the correct ratio of the two assets. It's going to swap some ETH for USDT, and we're going to add the liquidity of both of those right there. And then it's going to deposit that into the liquidity pool. So it's doing all the hard work we used to have to do back in the day for us, just like D-Bridge. It's so much easier now than it used to be back in the day. If you guys missed all that stuff, you're enjoying a very smooth experience nowadays. The only downside is that some people may not understand what's really going on in the background. So it's important to know and read these transactions and know what's happening inside your LP. So we'll go ahead and sign. And then we'll give it a second here. It should show up. I mean, again, it's $4, so it's nothing crazy. But we'll give it a second here. Boom, we have 10 pools open now. And so as we can see, boom, $4. It has landed, estimated 654% APR on a super wide range. That is absolutely insane. Again, I don't expect that to actually be accurate, or if it is accurate, I wouldn't expect it to stay for long. But again, you can be shopping around and looking for different pools. Make sure you set your range first and APR comes second. APR is the thing that validates your range. If you set a nice wide range on the daily, if possible, on the weekly is even better if you can do that and stomach that. If you can set a nice wide range on the weekly and then you still want that APR that it is telling you, that is perfect. If you set a nice wide range and it's telling you 5% a year, that's probably not worth it. You want to be looking at either a different location or a different asset pairing. God, my mouth is so dry. So here's the thing. Now that you have a position open, there's different things that you can do, okay? At any time, you can come in here and you don't have to open a new pool, you can just increase the balance. If you have more Ethereum you sent over to add, because you should always test small, see how things are performing, you can come in then in bulk with a lot more Ethereum and just increase the balance, increase your position size, okay? And this is going to be different blockchain to blockchain. I'll get to that in a second. You can also rebalance in the future if needed. I would minimize how often you have to rebalance. If I'm in a nice wide range like this, I really shouldn't have to be rebalancing, to be honest with you. If it goes out of range below 1600, I'm fine sitting on that for a week or 2 weeks if I need to, because I don't want to be making any changes. And if it goes out to 4600, I'm taking profit, right, on my little $4. But you should be taking profit at that point. I would heavily recommend. You can withdraw at any time. You can withdraw pieces. If I want to withdraw half of the $4 and take 2 out, I can do that as well. Turn your slippage down as low as possible. Give away as little money for free as possible. That'll be good. You can compound. Personally, not my favorite. I like to, say an error anyways, well, because we haven't earned anything actually. I like to harvest. The harvest tab is not there yet because we haven't actually earned anything. Okay, so we just opened it. We'll see if anything comes in before the end of the call. And hopefully it does, so I can show you that example as well. But compounding, I can show you a different wallet. Let's see. Compound is going to take your rewards. So for this example, $86 earned, and it's literally showing you what it'll do. It'll claim it. It'll claim the USDC, claim the monad. It's going to swap the USDC into more monad. It's going to add both to the pool at the right ratio, and then boom, 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 you're going to have that $86 back inside the deposit. You can do this. Personally, I am a big fan of harvesting. I like to use my liquidity pools to harvest and then stack some USDC on the side if the market is getting pretty hot, or I use it to buy more assets when the market is at a high value zone like right now. I really like that manual control. I'm a big manual guy. I like to take those in and have that full executive control of what happens next. And sometimes I'll wait till I hit a pretty number. Like I'll stack the $86 and I'll be stacking X amount of assets until it hits, let's say $500, $1,000, and then I'll make a bigger move into something different. But traditionally, at a market zone like right now, I'm taking these rewards. I'm buying stuff like Bitcoin, stuff like Ethereum, lending those out and keeping my treasury growing at a good pace. And when the market's hot, I am taking these rewards aggressively into only stable coins and stacking those on the side for opportunities like we've had this month, okay? And you can also see history as well. That history is going to show you like when you're claiming, when you increase, like I increased the position size in this 5 days ago, it says, when you're claiming as well. So very, very nice. Yeah, about 4 or 5 days. So in 4 to 5 days, this has made me $86 since the last change. Definitely not bad. And $17, let's see. It's probably 4.5 days. We'll do 17 times 4.5. Should make me 76. Let's just do 17 times 5. It hasn't been a full 5. Maybe it has, actually. 17 times 5 is $85. I've made 86, so I'm actually perfectly on pace with this one. That is beautiful. ETH USDC not hitting what it's supposed to hit currently, probably because everyone is aping into this shit. Is it possible that a 100K TVL goes down to 10K TVL? What happens if you provided 10K worth of assets from where it is 100K TVL? Let's see. I mean, if it goes from 100 down to 10K and you own 10K worth, that just means you're the only person still in that LP. Probably means that some of the value went down as well. It's not going to be like Bitcoin USDC pool. We talked about this last night on a group call a little bit. It means a lot of people are exiting. People are scared. They're selling their Bitcoin. They're going to cash. So you become a bigger piece of the pie, right? You're a bigger piece of that TVL. You're making more rewards in that pool. But also, it's just like you're no longer able to make some of these swaps. Because you got to think, like, let's find the example last night. I think it was on Monad. And this guy right here, it's 3K TVL now, right? One of our clients, he has $1,000 of this in there. You just got to think, in that pool, there's $2,500 of Bitcoin and there's $500 of USDC. So there's a lot of swaps that you actually can't facilitate. So that's going to put a pretty big stop on how much you're earning. But the stuff that is coming through, you're going to be making a big chunk of that liquidity, right? So when you're looking at a low TVL pool, this is not an unsafe asset pairing. So like it's not a disqualifier because of that. But I'm not able to go in here with size, right? I'm not able to come in here. I mean, you could, but really, I don't want to be the only fish in the pond, if that makes sense. It's a good opportunity because you can make a lot of money. Also, I mean, you could be sandwiched a little bit by slippage. Slippage might hurt you a little bit on this, but it's usually going to hurt the client that's swapping because they're going to be trying to swap. If they try to buy $500, they'll probably get $493, you know, and it's not going to let that route through. It's not going to get routed through. It's going to get routed through like the farm over here instead. where this guy right here has much higher TVL. They're going to get the actual transaction. It's not going to go through the pool. It's not going to get routed there. So it's a little confusing. If you have a little more specific question about exactly the TVL dropping, it really just means people are leaving the pool. Doesn't always mean it's a bad thing, but you definitely want to have a little bit of safety around you, okay? I'd be looking for like the 23K over the 3K. I really don't want to be in a 3K pool. Usually a small TVL shows you it's a bad asset, but when we're on a bridge blockchain like this, a different network that Bitcoin's not native to, this is obviously a good asset, right? Well, I mean, make sure it's the actual wrap Bitcoin too, right? But it is not a bad asset itself. It's just the TVL is very, very low. So you're not going to get a lot of swaps. You're going to be getting small swaps, but you're still facilitating those. Still not too bad there. Let's see. Where was I? We talked about that. One more thing to talk about too, operating on different blockchains, right? When I am on Avalanche, let's say, the token to send is going to be Avalanche. So when I'm bridging, I'm not trying to get ETH on AVAX, I'm trying to bridge to Avalanche itself. So I'd be looking to bridge money to Avalanche as AVAX. AVAX is the native gas token on Avalanche. So it's the one that you would want to open a position on Avalanche with. Same way with Monad. Even though in this example, this is Ethereum to USDC, so it has nothing to do with the Monad token, right? It is on Monad network. So when I'm opening this pool, I really want to use the native asset, which would be Monad. So if I'm sending money, I can either buy Monad on the exchange or I can bridge into Monad, and I want to take that Monad and then I use that Monad as that medium of exchange, the vessel to get into the actual pool, even though it has nothing to do with ETH to USDC, right? It does because it's the network, okay? So if I tried to do something like this, you'd see, and you could just actually read the transactions to see what's going on. My mouth gets so dry on the live streams, I don't know why. You'll see that, well, it's also going to claim my rewards when I do this, but you'll see it's swapping Monad for USDC, and it's swapping Monad for Ethereum, and then it's adding that liquidity into the pool. So you can see that if you actually read these transactions that Vfat builds out for you, what actually it's doing. So again, Monad's just the medium of exchange. And the reason why is because if I try to do something like USDC, watch it not do it this time. But if I try to do this, usually I get a trust score warning right here. Trust value $0, warning, phishing risk, trust value is 0. And it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing necessarily. I just don't want to take the gamble on, I don't want anyone watching to take the gamble and run it that way. It should work fine. It probably will work fine, but I would rather you just use the native asset that's not going to have a warning label, because that's the smart contract that most everyone's using. Okay, so there's no need to do it the other way and have that risk when you can just come prepared with Monad to then open the pool. Come prepared with AVAX to then open the pool. Come prepared with Ethereum and then open the pool. Because if you try to get cute with a different asset, it's a low trust score contract, and I just don't want anything to go wrong for anyone here. It's not worth the gamble. It's not worth it. It's like out here in Thailand. I could take a sketchy back road through an alley by myself, but if no one else is doing it, I probably don't want to go there too. I probably don't want to do it. I'm going to stay on the main road. I'm a tourist. I'm a tourist out here. I don't want to get grabbed off the street. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful, everyone. And if you guys have questions about Vfat, Vfat to me is pretty simple to use, right? There's a little more going on here. So they've had some updates to where you can kind of see the liquidity, see where people are providing actual liquidity on assets. You can see that, which is pretty nice. This is your actual price action. One thing that's confusing to people sometimes, which is just a nice little learning curve, is let's look at like, I don't want to do ETH to Brett. Let's do ETH to Arrow, for example, right? You get crazy numbers. You get 000135, 000350, like numbers like this. People are like, I don't understand what this is. And it's because when you do asset to asset, it becomes like a Forex chart, okay? Because it's two moving assets. So it's very, very important. I always quote in the larger asset. The only exception is I'll quote Bitcoin and Ethereum sometime because I'm just so used to quoting in Ethereum that I just like it that way sometimes. But so here's what to consider, okay? You want to come to TradingView, and we're looking for Arrow, right? And we're like, bro, these numbers don't match up. 33 cents, you look on Vfat, because it's to Arrow, it's like, what? These numbers don't make any fucking sense, right? Here's what you do. And for most assets, even on TradingView, if you're pairing them with solid assets like Ethereum, Solana, stuff like that, it'll show up right here. You come in here and you change your denominator, your quote currency from USD, change it to Ethereum. And now the chart's gonna give you exactly that number, that weird fucking number you've been looking at, right? To where now I can find that 00015 or that 00035, whatever the top of that range was, 36, whatever that is right here, catching these upper boundaries. And you can then start to visualize what that range actually is using the chart. Some people, that's why Orca's so nice. Orca has the chart built in for you, which is pretty cool to see. But even then, you want to understand the chart and you want to know how those assets have a relationship, okay? Because it's not as simple as charting Arrow and USDC. It is against Ethereum. So you're seeing this performance. And now this downtrend here means that Arrow is underperforming Ethereum on the downtrend. And whenever the wicks pump, that's when Arrow is outperforming Ethereum. And it doesn't mean, just because this is going down doesn't mean the market is even red. This going down just means that Aerodrome could be making less money on the way up than Ethereum is. If Ethereum pumps a 2x and Aerodrome only pumps by a 1x, that was retarded math. If Aerodrome's up 50%, but Ethereum is up 100%, this candle will look red because the ratio has gotten farther to the downside. So it's pretty cool. You really want to learn these charts and understand them. And that's how that's going to clear up an asset to asset number in those weird freaking price action, right? Same thing if we did like a, let's just look for fun, Bitcoin to ETH, turn these filters off. Let's just pick the top one, okay? And you can price in ETH, you can price in Bitcoin. Usually I say the larger asset, but with Ethereum, I'm so used to quoting in Ethereum, I like seeing my chart just like that. And you can see that it's in these 30s. How is Ethereum $30? No, essentially the formula, when it's priced in ETH, it means Bitcoin divided by ETH. So in written English, like in layman's terms, it's how many Ethereum does it take you to buy one Bitcoin? So if you want to see that on the chart, you take Bitcoin here, and instead of USD, because right now it's how much dollars does it take to buy a Bitcoin, how many ETH does it take to buy a Bitcoin? And this is how you see the relationship, okay? As it gets more expensive, it takes more ETH to buy Bitcoin. Why would it take more ETH? Because Bitcoin's outperforming ETH. So then it costs more ETH to buy. When the chart's going down here, ETH is outperforming Bitcoin, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Because then, just think about it. Up here, if it's $40, if it's 45, let's find 40. If it's 40 ETH to buy Bitcoin, it means that ETH is pretty cheap. If it's 20 ETH to buy Bitcoin, that means ETH has appreciated enough against Bitcoin that it takes less ETH to buy a Bitcoin. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't want to make it more complicated. Sometimes I feel like I make it more complicated, but hopefully that makes sense. Thank you, bro. Learning a lot from you. I'm in the Philippines. Hope to see you one day in Thailand. Yeah, man, if you're in the area, always pull up, shoot us a message, let us know. We love meeting people. We've met already like 2 guys inside the fast track out here, which is pretty freaking cool. Met one of the guys, he's coming to the mastermind. We met one of the guys that's in the fast track before he headed back to China, like our first week here. And then we were at the park a couple days ago, and we ran into one of the guys that's coming to the mastermind in Koh Samui, just at the park. We just heard Jake turn around, and he's like, it's good to meet you guys. So he got the nerves out early, right, of meeting people that you see online. So it's nice for him to see us, and it was cool for us to see him as well, and just get a little side chat with him there at the park. And I mean, the park was freaking beautiful. It was good to see him. And definitely a cool experience because it's such a big city too. It's really weird for that to happen, right? It's kind of unexpected. So if you see us in Nashville at the Bitcoin conference, shoot us a holler as well. And we'd love to talk to any and everyone that has something to say. So definitely we don't bite. Let me think. Does anybody have any questions? If you do post them in the chat, I'm happy to get to answering those. How long have we been live for so far? 35 minutes, not too bad. Not too bad at all. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about for Vfat, anything that I have missed that is very important for you. A lot of you guys, and maybe not you guys watching, but a lot of people recently, especially some of our newer Fast Track members and stuff, they're really overcomplicating the basics in my opinion, right? They're just kind of muddying the waters for themselves, making it a little harder than it needs to be, and it shouldn't be that hard. Sometimes you're overthinking like, oh, which one do I choose? And it's like, You just got to get started. Take the first steps, do the experimentation, and you can run, like I said, you can run like 3 different ETH USDC pools, see which one's paying you better. Okay, one of the guys asked me this morning, he said, so when I open the pool, should I just open it forever? And it's like, well, fuck, man, if it's paying you good and it's assets you like and it's printing, I mean, I would want that to go as long as possible. You know, if I'm making 10% a month off something, say I'm making 6% a month off something, and it's a pool that I love, consistent cash flow, income coming in every day, well, fuck, I hope it lasts forever. Usually at some point the game ends. If you can set these pools up to where they do last forever, it's just nonstop income. That'd be perfect. So don't get in your own way. Take the leap of faith. Do something that no one else is going to do and get started. Hopefully you guys in chat, I imagine the guy talking about D-Bridge is doing it. He seems like he's kind of pretty big into DeFi. Prince YOLO, hopefully you're taking some first steps and stuff as well. Just getting started, man, getting that stuff going. Because a lot of people, man, it's scary. But you got to get started. Get started doing it. That's why I wanted to make this little video, kind of give you a walkthrough. But you can just kind of walk through and do what I did step by step, whatever it is that you need to do for yourself. But you're not going to feel comfortable at first, but you got to do the hard thing. You got to do the hard thing, man. I reached out to one of a potential 10K fast track guy the other day, and he's like, oh man, I'm just nervous about it. I'm just nervous essentially. And it's like, man, you just got to get started. Play around on your own if you want before you join the 10K fast track. That's totally freaking fine. But you got to get started. Take the leap. Do what no one else is willing to do. No one else is willing to do the work. No one else is willing to start a YouTube channel and make videos that no one watched for so freaking long. And now I have you guys that are actually getting great value, and I love that I'm able to help each and every person here. But for the longest time, I was making videos, no one was watching. But it's been about a year since I took it seriously, like February last year, and now this is where we're at. Now I'm in freaking Thailand, and I have 152 members inside the 10K fast track, 153 now, and life is good. But I did it for a year with no one giving a fuck, right? And so you got to do it for a year as well in DeFi, like get started, and maybe the results don't come in immediately. You're kind of confused. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. You just got to get started and keep taking steps each and every day, the same way I did. Didn't mean my YouTube videos were, I mean, they were probably pretty bad. Let's be real. But it doesn't mean that I needed to stop. Jake was taking gambles that I was going to quit before I ever did. I never quit. I kept going. I kept going, kept going, kept going. And now we're at the point we are now, where I feel self-sufficient on my YouTube channel if I need to be. And it's very, very cool. It's very, very cool. I've grown a business out of this as well. And I get to give back, and I get to teach, and get to educate. And I have the freaking mastermind, which again, we're net negative on. We sold tickets, of course, but like the place was so damn expensive. But that's a dream come true. And I can't wait to make some content. And hopefully I don't get fucking nervous and talk way too fast, because I'm a fast talker and I need to chill the fuck out. But I'm so excited. It's going to be beautiful, getting to help people in person, answer their questions. I can click the buttons for them if needed. Going to have some presentations, PowerPoint slides made. I'm very, very excited for that. And always, you know, I'm sure you guys can relate on this live stream as well, that it's hard to find people and brothers, and maybe sisters as well, you know, I don't know, who are in crypto to the same level you are. Because you always know a guy that's maybe in crypto, but it's that XRP bro that's got $1,000 of XRP, and he's like, bro, we're going to be so fucking rich one day. There's a guy at home saying that all the time. He pisses me the fuck off. First off, XRP, I mean, I don't hold the XRP. If you hold XRP, cool, we can monetize that shit, make you some fucking money. That's not the point. The point is he's $1,000 and he thinks he's gonna fucking make it. It's going to $100. It's like, you're kind of fucking retarded, bro. You're retarded. What he needs is cash flow. He needs some fucking cash flow, because $1,000 is not going to cut it, guys. But I'm excited to help people build some cash flow systems, teach them what I do on Aave. Like this is my favorite fucking strategy, guys, where you can take, let's try this one. My favorite strategy in the world is to take those spot assets, keep building bags of Bitcoin, build bags of Ethereum, AVAX, Chainlink, Sui, whatever it is for you, and be borrowing, inventing money, create money out of thin air to then go and monetize and take somewhere where then you can create cash flow. On maybe stuff as simple as Bitcoin USDT, ETH USDT. I think that ETH did not age well, but there is still a lot of time, a long-term outlook on that, okay? And just creating cash flow. Cash flow each and every day will solve all your problems. And I'm excited to share this, how they can take their assets, treat those as like your real estate property, invent money, pull equity out of that Bitcoin, monetize, and route the cash flow back into more assets, more cash flow generating engines, into USDC bags. If someone needs to fund their lifestyle with it, they can. Right now, I'd recommend going heavy on asset stacking more Bitcoin, We're at a great value zone in the market. You cannot convince me that we're going to fucking 18K or whatever the fuck I've been reading. Retarded. Not financial advice, but retarded. You can't convince me. Could we go to 55? Sure. Could we go to 50? Sure, maybe. I'm just stacking even more aggressively, and I'm stacking for free as well as with my earned capital and income as well. So it's like, guys, the game becomes infinite once you unlock the full loop where you're taking assets, collateral, invent money, create it. High value zones, especially like right now, it's very, very valuable to do this strategy. And you're running liquidity pools. And you're using that income, stack more assets, stack cash on the side. If liquidity pools go out to the downside and you DCate in at a good price, you can loop it back around as more collateral. It gets very advanced, okay? But you can't get to that level without just taking the first step. The first step of opening your first pool. Get it going. Understand what's going on. It doesn't need to make you rich overnight, right? But you stack over weeks at a time, and then it starts to accelerate its performance, okay? Back to the Monad example. That one's doing pretty fucking good right now. This one's one of my best, like even in value. It hasn't really lost any value. It's just printing. I take that money, reroute it to somewhere meaningful. It's doing a fantastic APR, and it's doing a true APR, right? Lots of options in this market, guys. And you have to find what works for you. Your favorite assets, and if it's not performing the way that you want at the beginning, it doesn't mean it's bad. You have to fine tune it. Find a different location for the same assets. Find a different location, a busier street that's paying you better. Troubleshoot, move things around. It can take time sometimes. If you want to skip past the troubleshooting, the 10K Fast Track will help accelerate on that path, but you can do all this stuff alone as well, guys. It's definitely doable alone. I'm gonna put that little QR code on if you guys want to scan that shit. Boom. It's definitely doable alone, but it is so, I wouldn't say, I mean, it really is easy. It's like learning a video game. You just got to get started, because once you've done it with one asset and you understand it in and out, how the ratios are changing, how your assets are converting it from one into the other, why you should be going wider rather than chasing tight ranges. Tight ranges are not going to win long term. If you do it from borrowed capital, I understand, and I can understand that strategy. It's not as impactful in a negative way. But even then, setting nice wide ranges on borrowed capital, it's a beautiful, beautiful way to play it to where you're making money each and every day. When the market moves up, you make shit tons of money from your side bags as collateral, and you make shit tons of money from your pools appreciating, and shit tons of money each and every day while you wait. If the market goes sideways for the next fucking year, I'm still printing, that's fine. I'll just keep printing cash. I could care less when the market pumps. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't, honestly, it's more stressful when it does, because I have to start then making decisions about what am I selling? When am I selling? Right now, cool. Go sideways for another month. It makes my job easier. I can focus on videos and YouTube and the mastermind coming up. I don't have to worry about taking profit on anything. The market goes down. Honestly, that's easy as well, because I just buy in for free. Pools are printing. They offset my loss on a lot of these because they're paired with stuff like USDC right now. And it's super, super easy. And I buy more of those long-term collateral bags. And when I make those big buys, let's say I buy 10 grand of Bitcoin, I then will borrow like 3, 4, 5K against it, throw that into LPs, and that's more cash flow. Complete the loop. And the cash flow, more Bitcoin, cash flow, more Ethereum, et cetera, et cetera. And that's the game. You create this full fucking loop. And hopefully I don't sound fucking retarded, because no one's in chat right now. Chat is fucking mute. So, you guys have any questions? Drop them in. I'll throw, how long has the stream been so far? I don't want to go more than an hour really today. 45 minutes, so 15 minutes, guys. If you guys have questions, drop them. I'll get to them literally ASAP. And I would love to help you guys. I'm gonna throw one of these little Zens in. That's the problem with this trip, is that I've been off nicotine for 6 months, and Jake and the boys have got me freaking hooked, zooted on nicotine. But I will say, it does work. It helps with focus. You get to really lock in and just focus on work. And to be honest with you guys, that's the other thing. Here's the thing about LPs. I called a potential fast track client yesterday, I believe yesterday morning, and he was telling me he had vacation coming up, so he wanted to wait to join the 10K fast track till after, and that's totally fine, right? Totally understand. But basically his biggest objection was time, okay? Which to me seems a little silly, because I have things set up to where time is the thing I don't want to give to crypto and DeFi. I'm giving it all to YouTube. I'm giving it all to my clients. I don't have time to be sitting here actually managing these each and every day. I should have waited to put this in. It's so fucking fat, right? Because here's the thing. In the 10K Fast Track, all the modules and everything accelerate your learning, get you exactly to where you need to be as soon as possible. Not to mention the tailored one-on-one approach, get your pools open. But more importantly, the strategies I have running, I'm not touching every day. Again, I'm coming in here, I'm showing you guys 86 earns on this one, 124 earned total in this wallet. I mean, I can look if I want, however often I want, but I'm not doing anything. I'm out in Thailand with Jake. We go to dinner, we shop. I think we're gonna go go-karting today. We're gonna race. You already know who's gonna fucking win. 10K Fast Track, 10K fastest fucking lap on the track. We'll see. Well, Vegas, he blamed the cart, but winner in Vegas last year. But here's the thing, guys. It's as hands-on as you want it to be. I want it to be hands-off. So it's hands-off. Jake's is pretty hands-off as well. There's guys that they do kind of get in the nitty-gritty with the meme coins and stuff, and you can make a lot of fucking money really fast. It also can be very dangerous, but you can play it really tight like that and make crazy fucking money. But I want the more longer-term business approach. I want to run DeFi as a business, not a gamble. I don't want to be a trader. I want consistent income every day, consistent income every week, consistent income every month, all fucking year long. Back to that question in the 10K Fast Track I had this morning, where it's like, hey, when I open these pools, should I have them open forever? If you could fucking run this shit forever, run this fucking shit forever. To me, that's a silly question. Now, there is a moment where, let's say, the market hits all-time highs and Ethereum's at 4,600, Chainlink's over the 20-something dollars again, and I'm cashed out in profits. I might then take a couple months off, okay, sitting on cash. Or I might then decide to then employ our delta neutral strategies, where I'm then shorting my exposure to these assets, which at that point would pretty much be zero, as they're all in USDC, and I can keep the pools open in USDC, and as they come back in range, we work our way down through the market in a bear market, a downtrend. I can short that exposure to the level where I want to then go long again. So there's ways to play it. They don't have to stop. You don't have to close the pool when the market's high. You can just open a short to counteract the pool actually be open. Again, it can get more advanced, but right now, I don't think is the correct time for that. Again, I could be wrong. Make the decision for yourself, but there's always a strategy available. There's always a way to make money in this market, and that's the thing. But you can't do it if you don't get fucking started. You have to get started. You can't be scared. You have to take fucking action and be the one person. I mean, think about it. How many guys do you know in crypto? Probably not that fucking many in your day-to-day life. How many guys do you know in DeFi? If you try talking to even crypto guys about this shit that aren't in DeFi, they gloss the fuck over because all their shit's on Coinbase. Maybe they have a fucking ledger at most. You cannot have a conversation the way that me and you are having a conversation right now about this. They don't fucking even understand what the fuck you're talking about. They don't know what a DEX is. They probably don't even use fucking wallets correctly. Bridging, who's the fucking that? They don't fucking know, right? Okay? So it's just crazy. You have to be the guy that's doing the work that no one else is doing. Why are we making money? Why is this profitable? Because people are swapping, they're buying for cheap, saving money, paying us fees. But why are you really making money? Because no one else knows how to do this shit. You're on that new frontier of digital finance, monetizing the shit that you already fucking own. It doesn't get any better than that. You already own these assets. Put them to freaking work. Employ the lending and borrowing strategies that I'm such a big advocate for. And then when the bull run comes back, when we're at all-time highs, you will have made so much fucking money that Jake's already celebrating, spraying soda water everywhere. That shit fucking popped like a champagne bottle. I forgot, what is your minimum TVL and maximum TVL that are most likely to go into a pool? No maximum, never a maximum. You can't get safe enough, but really like the criteria is looking for that nice balance for the APR, okay? Because it's all about ratio. If you have $1 million pool that's printing, let's say a $1 million pool printed 100K in the last week, and you have a $100,000 pool that printed 10K in the last week, those to me are equal fucking pools because you're gonna make the same fucking amount. The ratio is correct. You're looking for the best ratio of money coming in to a lower TVL amount. As a beginner, I wouldn't go below 100K TVL. I wouldn't. As you get more advanced, you can go down that rabbit hole and you'll start to experiment, and there are some good opportunities down there, but when you're starting out, don't go below 100K. There's just no need to. If you want to push it to 50K, be my guest, but just make sure your asset selection in terms of quality is correct. You don't want to be sacrificing asset quality for that income. And usually lower TVLs have shittier assets. Not always, there's lower TVL pools with good assets, but really I'm looking for the right ratio of TVL to income. Because it's a business, okay? Think of it like this. The pool's TVL, however much you put in, you are X% of that stock. If it's a 100K pool and you're $10,000 of that, you have 10% equity in that actual pool business, that actual company. 10% equity. So you're getting 10% of all the fees, 10% of all the fees that are coming in. The bigger the piece of that TVL pie, the more of that income you actually make. Okay? So you want to find a place that's making a good income where the TVL can be huge. And if it's making enough fucking income, it doesn't matter if you're a really small fish. But if you can find those sweet spots, okay, you can only find those sweet spots by actually playing and experimenting around on chain and getting to work, spending a little time. If you have an hour at night, I tell you it's very hands-off. It's hands-off once you find the ones that you like and that you're okay with, that you want to have open. But at the beginning, play around. What else are you gonna do? Watch fucking YouTube? No, if you're watching YouTube, have this going on the side. When my girl wants movie night or something, and we're watching Netflix, what do you think's open? The fucking laptop. And we're looking around. I'm answering school DMs, answering questions from the 10K fast track. I'm looking at pools. I'm just managing stuff. There's always work to be done. If living with Jake has taught me anything, there's always work to be done. And that's what's nice about being out here, is I'm surrounded by that environment. It's hard not to do the work. I have an hour of downtime here. What do? I go live. Because what else am I gonna do? Watch YouTube? No, create, don't consume. Create some pools, get started. Play around, lose money, pay some gas fees, fuck around, try something risky, try something fun. The risk is not trying, right? The risk is you never get started. The risk is you never start making income. You don't scale to 30, 40 bucks a day. You don't scale to 100 bucks a day, and you never make any money. You can't make money without getting started. I couldn't have made my first sales from YouTube without getting started. I couldn't have made 1,000 followers, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube without getting started. I'll never get to 10K subscribers if I just quit right now. I have to keep fucking going. I never build the return viewers, the guys that are commenting, the guys that are getting value. That would never have happened if I would have just quit when things got hard or when I didn't believe in something. You have to just keep fucking going. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I was doing this alone, guys. 2 3 years ago, I was doing this back in the old school group, and I was asking people, hey, is anyone doing DeFi? And there was not a fucking soul that knew what I was saying. It was that whole eyes glossed over thing. So you guys watching, you're interested. Maybe you are in those first steps, and maybe you do feel bad that glossing over. What you have to do, though, is just fucking dive on in anyways and get started. You have to fucking get started. Even if that means you're the only one you know fucking doing it. If you don't want to be the only one you know, scan that QR code over there, join the 10K fast track. 150 plus people doing exactly what you want to do, makes life a little easier. You talk to people that are doing the same things, lots of networking opportunities in there as well. Guys that might even live close to you. There's guys in my hometown in that group. It's crazy, right? It's cool. Build connections. Come to the mastermind, Koh Samui. Meet up with guys at the Bitcoin conference. Every year at the Bitcoin conference, we meet up with as many guys in our group as possible that can make it out there. It's so cool. Lots of opportunities to just get started and then share that fellowship and brotherhood with everyone inside as well. If you feel lonely in crypto, it's a great way to beat that feeling. But you have to get started. Even if that's on your own, like I did in the trenches by myself, losing money by myself, making mistakes by myself, my heart dropping out of my fucking chest when I thought I lost money and then I find it somewhere else. I've made all these mistakes. There's a guy last night, Connor, who he re-downloaded Phantom Wallet, couldn't find his fucking money, imported his seed phrase, but then the other wallets weren't there. Took me 2 minutes to fix. 2 minutes to fix and get all his money back on his other wallets, the sub-wallets he had created. And that's just something you get with experience in the game. Because I've already had all these problems. My heart's already fucking dropped a million times. The gut-wrenching feeling of where is the fucking money, right? I know how to fix it. I know how to find it. I know how to I'm like IT tech support for DeFi. If you have a problem, DM. If you have a question, DM. Well, if you're inside. If you're on YouTube, just leave a comment and I'll try to get back to you if I can. Voice notes are very, very nice. I love that YouTube has voice notes now. I can just fucking hit you back wherever I am. Super cool. And voice notes, I'm the biggest fucking fan of. I love voice notes. Does anybody have any questions in chat? You guys are pretty quiet today. Usually there's questions just rolling in. And then I just go on rants like this, where I just talk forever. If I get 5 questions a live stream, I'll go for an hour and a half. It's so easy for me. I love talking about this stuff. And there's no one IRL you can talk to about it if you're not out here in Thailand right now with the crypto boys. So about 10 minutes, let's double check. 5-10 minutes of questions if you guys have them, and I'll let you guys go. I know there's a bit of a delay, So I'm more than happy to sit here for a second and wait on you guys. What content do you want to see? I need these questions so I know where to go. The vlogs have been very, very fun to make. Sometimes it's not as much in-depth content as well. I like to think I give a lot of that in-depth content in the normal, just like face videos, screen share videos. The vlogs have been very, very fun to make. I have more of those coming, more regular videos coming as well in the pipeline. I think I'm technically queued out till March. I've been dropping 2 videos a week, so I'm trying to keep that pace. I may up it to 3. If you guys would like 3 videos a week, I can definitely up it to that as well. I've been doing Mondays and Fridays. Might throw a little Wednesdays in there. Just don't want to also overload people as well. Also, it gives me time to just focus on what I really want to make. I don't want to be putting out content just to put out content. I want to be servicing, giving as much value as I can. $117% APR, Master Chief. How's everyone doing? Chat is fucking dead, boys. I'll give it a couple more minutes, and then I will bounce out of here. Spam some custom emojis real quick. Hold on. Got the custom Jake emoji. Whoa.
You motherfucker.
I fucking love that.
Me too, bro.
Got the McDonald's employee. If you're a meme coin degenerate gambler, this is going to be your career path. Just freaking wait. If you don't get started in LPs, you'll be working at McDonald's the rest of eternity. So start DeFi. Whoa, Jake, what the fuck? Oh. Any value, Jake? Anything you want to say? You have to come over here.
I'll go to some sauce.
Give some sauce.
What have we talked about so far? Just how to do Vfat?
Yeah, just kind of a Vfat general walkthrough, getting started, like taking the leap.
Welcome.
No, it's not working though. It's just audio. Hold on.
You can always just see my body. Just like. The biggest piece of advice I can give you is you are the average of the 5 people you hang around with. And what that means is, if you hang around with losers, you're going to be a loser. If you hang around with winners, you're going to be a winner. If you're hanging around guys that are saying crypto is fucking terrible, guess what? You're going to be forced to sell at times like this. So you have to lock in. You have to find guys, if it's just the YouTube, if it's a school group that we have, whatever it is, because we want you guys to win. All right? If it's day after day after day after day of your mom, your dad, your brother, your workmates saying that cryptocurrency is a scam, you will be forced mentally to go down that path. And even though you don't know it's true, it's just going to be happening. So regardless of the market's price, like we know where this is going long term. It's tough, it's difficult, it makes it easier in DeFi pools because you're buying that dip for free or using it for cash flow. And that changed the game for me. But you got to take action, man. You're going to die, he's going to die, I'm going to die. So what else are you going to do?
What else are you going to do? Is Thailand a pro-crypto country? Do you use crypto for payment there? Actually, that's a good question. I talked about this, I believe, on the live stream yesterday a little bit. Let me see real quick. Let's start hands-free. There we go. So something that I do to make my life easy, right? Because they have tap to pay most everywhere here. So it's been pretty easy to choose between one of 2 options. Amex is not as popular out here. Okay? But the Gemini card, MasterCard, has worked literally everywhere. So I can just tap. So I'm tapping with my Gemini card. I earn 4% back on all our ride shares that we have out here. Dining, 3% back. I'm just getting all this back in free Bitcoin. It's just more free money that I get back off stuff that I was already going to spend anyways. Groceries, 2%. So we load up on white monsters. I'm getting 2% back in Bitcoin. Perfect. 1% back everything else. But so what I actually do with this is that I can then send USDC to my Gemini exchange and pay my credit card bill with that. How does it get any fucking easier than that, boys? It's about as easy as it freaking gets. They do have the Coinbase, I do have the Coinbase Amex card as well. Super high limit on this one. I think it's like 15 grand for me. That's high, at least high limit. Like we can get in trouble spending 15 grand, right? The problem is that I go to tap my Coinbase one and there's nothing happens. They don't take Amex to a lot of these places. So when possible, I've been using this for my like online orders and stuff where it's just like Apple Pay type thing where I'm like, you know, Face ID, whatever, wherever I'm at. But if I'm out and about, I've been using the Gemini. And it's super nice because you can just send stable coins to the exchange and then you can pay for whatever it is when your bills due with stable coins. So you can be stacking. Life's not that expensive if you choose for it not to be out here. And then, you know, for example, if you're a month deep, $1,300, send that to the exchange, pay the bill. You can pay whatever's left over that with cash from your bank account, etc. And then it's pretty much just GG from there. Super freaking easy, to be honest with you. Let's see. Let's see where we're at. Hopefully that makes sense, man. But yeah, it's really not that bad. Everything's pretty, there's a couple places you can only pay with cash, but really we haven't run into that very much.
Huh?
You can tap pretty much anything.
Anything.
Tap pay. So it's not as third world as you might think. What about Koh Samui? Less tap?
I remember Alex saved us, we had no bet, and Alex used a crypto.com card to use out the ATM to pay for the taxi. So less tap, maybe, but I mean, it's just the same.
Yeah.
Get your cash back in BTC and your little sets. You know, scale that up in bills. You always want to be printing when you can.
Yeah, just free money back. So everything I'm spending, not only am I spending on that credit card, I'm getting cash back into Bitcoin directly.
I never knew that was a thing. Like this cashback thing, I've never seen it happen in real life. Like the fact that you could do that on anything you buy, it's fucking long term. Like it just adds up.
Yeah, I show you. It's like 20 bucks spent and you get like 50 cents back in Bitcoin.
Crazy.
And it's like, okay, cool.
And then Bitcoin goes up as well, or you give it USDC, or you do whatever you want with it. It's crazy. You never think about the small
And you
stuff.
just stack. I wonder if I have a referral link for that. Referral link. Wonder if I have one. Let me just check my Gemini app real quick. If you guys do, if you are interested in that, because you're already paying bills and stuff anyways. If you can pay it with this card and get Bitcoin back, it makes a lot of sense. You're just earning free Bitcoin and just make sure you're doing it on stuff you'd already buy anyways. I'm going to share this link here in chat if you guys are interested. But again, this little money back in Bitcoin, it's not going to be anything compared to actually just getting started with your liquidity pools, but it is a nice way to just earn. I'm all about free money, passive income. You might as well make a little money back on what you're spending as well. There's my referral link there. I think you get like an extra 50 bucks or something in Bitcoin, something like that. Not entirely sure. For the everyday person, I would recommend the Gemini one over the Coinbase one. The reason being, you get all these rewards as a blanket. Just if you're doing gas, EV, Uber, whatever the fuck, 4% back. So when I haven't had my card, I'm Ubering around, 4% back on everything. Pretty nice. Anytime you're going out to eat, 3% back in Bitcoin. Groceries, 2% back in Bitcoin. Everything else, you're always getting at least 1%. The difference with the Coinbase card is it does give you a blanket reward for anything and everything. The problem is that I'll check my phone again because it doesn't show you very upfront on the website. But the problem is, if you have a lot of money, the Coinbase card's pretty good, but you have to hold money on the exchange to get the best benefits. And I'll tell you exactly what. If you have less than 10K on Coinbase, then you only get 2%, but that is blanket. So basically, if something doesn't qualify for one of these three categories right here, if it's outside of this, I would use the Coinbase card because I get 2% back instead of 1% back with Gemini. But the problem is that if you want to get to these levels on Coinbase, you need 10K to get 2.5%. The 2.5% right here, you need to have 10K. To get 3%, you have to have 50K on Coinbase. And to get a 4%, you have to have 200K sitting on Coinbase, which I think most of us don't want to do. So again, for the everyday person, if you could only have one, the Gemini card is 100% the way to go because you're really coming out ahead on gas, EV, transit, dining, groceries, and then you still get 1% on everything else.
And the problem is with Coinbase as well, you're missing out on the opportunity cost with tools if you have 250K. The problem is, you know what the problem is Gemini? I told you the other day.
What's that?
For UK boys.
Oh, yeah.
UK boys, maybe not a good idea. Probably impossible. But everybody else, do it.
Super cool. I got this last year at the Bitcoin conference, and they had the nice orange Cybertrucks and everything super cool. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get it. You know what I've made? Let me just tell you, I mean, I don't spend crazy, to be honest. I live pretty below my means. I mean, I still obviously spend, but let's see. I've earned $645 in the last, not even year since I've had the card, in just free Bitcoin. Right. 645, which is just free Bitcoin that I've gotten for just the stuff I was buying anyways. If they'll let you pay your apartment rent with a credit card, boom, easy. You're getting like 1% back on that at least. Same with anything else. Groceries. You're already buying groceries. You have to eat 2% back. If you're spending, like, what's the average grocery bill? Let's just think per year. Then we'll have to end this stream because now we're getting way off topic. Average grocery costs. Let's do per year. Per year, let's do USA. $6,000 on groceries. What's $6,000 times, what is that? 2% on groceries, I think it was. 2% groceries. So you're making, I mean, it's nothing crazy, but you know, it's freaking still free money back. Siri, shut the fuck up. Thank you. And let's just think the average cost of, let's think. Average eating out spend per year USA. 3,000 to 3,700. Let's just take the high end. Let's just do 4K. 4K times 3% back. Another 120 bucks back right there. And then you also have gas. So what's the gas bill? Let's see. Average gas spend USA per year. 2,000 times 4%. Another 80 bucks. I mean, so altogether, it's probably about where I'm sitting, where I've earned $645 in less than a year, right? It just rewards. Not to mention if you're spending it on rent, travel, other stuff as well, you are getting Bitcoin back on those purchases as well. So it's pretty cool. If you guys are interested, I posted that link in chat there where you can get it too. It gives you like a $50 bonus or something, I think, for signing up. It's pretty cool. Definitely don't need people like Bobby. He's very anti-credit card, so you know, he doesn't like using them. But if you are responsible, if you are the person that can use credit cards responsibly, it is an extra $600 something I made in Bitcoin for stuff I was already fucking buying. I certainly like less than 1% of my population knows DeFi. Most of the people here are in perpetual trading and meme trading. If only they know how LP's DeFi would change their life. Exactly. They're trading memes, they're trading coins, and we're making money off of them though. We're the house. That's the whole game. I'm the fucking house. I don't need a meme coin to work out. I can buy a meme coin liquidity pool. I can then short the meme, delta neutral my exposure, and just make money off people trading it. Do I do that nowadays? Really not. I just don't even look at fucking memes and stuff anymore. But I'm just running nice long-term pools, focused on giving value, focused on getting clients and helping them get what they want out of DeFi. And I mean, exactly. I like that less people know too. The more people that know, the harder and steeper the competition gets in DeFi. But at the same time, I'm in the game of preaching the gospel of DeFi, spreading the word.
Bitcoin's at 70K.
Bitcoin 70K?
We're back.
We're back. We're so back, baby.
Woo! We're on. It's a nice number.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
And no one's going to buy until we hit like 90K.
Yep.
No one's going to buy until we're back to, 91K.
Yeah. You'll lose. We'll win. The boys in chat, though, you're all fucking winners. You're tuning in to the stuff that's not sexy, not the top altcoin videos, but you guys will actually fucking change your life.
You don't make money buying when it's sexy. When you really want to be buying is when the market's down. When you feel like you should be buying at 125K is when you should probably be selling. Yeah. Selling a little bit. Take a little off the top. Take your profits. And then you won't feel so bad when the market goes down and you have money to dump right back in when Bitcoin is at $61,000. 62, I think, is when I got in. By the time I moved the fucking money and got the transaction to go through. Fucking Tracer. Fucking Tracer. Actually, that one was MetaMask. MetaMask was giving me issues. The one wallet I still have a MetaMask, only on my phone. Pain in the fucking dick. I didn't import that seed phrase to this laptop. I need to, but it's too late. Boys, I'm going to wrap it up here. If there's a burning question, I see it before I end this fucking stream, I will answer it. But I'm going to start moving towards ending the stream. I'll give you guys, let's see, right, 110. I will give you until 112, a minute and a half. A burning question comes in, I've got you. I'm going to go ahead and sniff my smell good Thailand stuff. Just clears you out. It's real stiffy out here. Sniffy. Air quality's kind of shit, but it's beautiful. We need to hit the pool. We haven't hit the pool yet, but again, we're going to Koh Samui in 3 fucking days now, boys. 3 freaking days. And that's going to be beach life, island life. And there's pools, like giant pools on the villa, like 2 of them, I think. Have you guys seen it? Have I showed you guys the villa? I think I have, right? This. I mean, boys. Learning DeFi in this right here. Pool up top, pool down bottom. Everyone's got their own bedroom, nice working area, giant dinner tables, lawn chairs. We're gonna have the drone out fly and get some freaking footage. It's going to be freaking sweet. It's probably too late. Probably don't have time to make it out here now, but if you wanted to, shoot me a comment and we can see if we can get you there. But all right, boys, gonna wrap it up. And I will see you guys in the next live. Any last words?
Get your buys in.
Get your buys in. We will see you soon, boys.